Steve Perryman. Long ball for Crooks to chase. Tottenham ball. Crooks himself looking for Archibald to twist and turn, and look at that for an effort. Steve Archibald just giving us a glimpse there of the sort of scoring power that the man has in the penalty area. Just shown the goal for a fraction of a second, and from that throw from Crooks, well, it just scraped the far post. Ritchie's determination, finding Robinson. Nice turn from the big man on the edge of the area, switching it to Neil McNabb, but they've lost the element of surprise now unless they can keep it going through Stevens. Stevens cross to the far post. Oh my goodness, Daines was nowhere near that, and if they had somebody there, that must have been the first goal. Robinson challenged in the end by Crooks, who concedes third corner. Well, that was a real scare for Tottenham, and how they survived that, well, only Barry Daines will know. Daines mistimed the leap, really, and whether or not he touched it's not quite clear, but lucky to get away with it from that little cross-come shot from Gary Stevens. Anyway, it's John Gregory now to take the corner. Driven hard, looking for Robinson, who just missed out. Ardiles showing nice ball control. Switching it to Crooks. Alvin losing O'Sullivan nicely. Roberts in support on the left. This is Roberts. Hit it left foot. First time. Archibald's there. And he's got Hoddle just behind him. This could be dangerous if they can't clear it. Archibald's cross. O'Sullivan careful to chest that one down. Galvin to Crooks. A little burst through from Ardiles. Here's a chance, Ozzy Ardiles. And he's made it. Well, Brighton have paid the penalty. The writing was on the wall a few moments ago. They didn't clear the danger. And the little Argentinian saw his chance, burst through while the Brighton defenders stood and watched and hit the shot. And, well, Brighton are now in the lead, or rather 1 goal behind. Nice long ball for Paul Clark to chase. Good interception by Perryman, but it's still Clark. Hustled out of it by Lacey. And that'll be a free kick to Brighton. Now a chance for Brighton to perhaps get back in this match. Neil McNabb over the ball. And Steve Foster's come up to join the attack. Robinson, Ritchie, Horton, they're all there towards that far side. Just a 2-man Tottenham wall. McNabb's free kick, headed in. Good header from Ritchie and fisted over by Barry Daines. Well, that's the most promising move of this match so far, I think, from Brighton. And it's some comment that it's come in the second half. Crooks is back alongside Lacey. Foster this time. And Daines watching it fall harmlessly away. Steve Foster going back to take his place, the heart of the Brighton defence. And so Galvin coming away. Crooks is wide on the left. That's the ball for Crooks. He's got Archibald in the middle. Good determined run from Crooks. Paul Clark is close to him. Shot coming in from Crooks, and again Crooks has got a second bite. Just trying to be too deliberate finding Archibald. But it's not over yet, because this is Galvin. Galvin, and that was more dangerous than it looked. Well, the corner conceded. Garth Crooks, yet again illustrating just a moment or two ago how dangerous he can be. And it's going to be another Tottenham corner. Galvin finding Ardiles. Ardiles. Shot coming in from Roberts. Right through a crowd of players, and Digweed again did well to see that. Down quickly to gather it at full stretch. But as we've seen so often this afternoon, Brighton possession doesn't necessarily mean too much. Stevens. Now, what can they make of this? Not a lot, because it runs straight to Ardiles. That's really been the story of the match. Ardiles picking up the loose balls and making the most of them. This is Archibald with Clark just behind him. Hoddle's gone on a run through, and this is McAllister in support. Cross coming from Don McAllister. Crooks is there. Oh, and that's a good goal. What a good goal that was. He measured it all the way, and McAllister picked his spot. And Garth Crooks, little jackknife of a leap, and that's the second Tottenham goal, and really, they deserved it. There's the cross. Coming in from McAllister, just look at the way Crooks gets up, powers that header past Digweed.
McAllister has moved out onto the right of the penalty area, and it looks like Hoddle. And he tries one from there. Good save by Lukic. Dropped it just for a second, but touched it at the second chance. Fine try, though, by Hoddle. Lukic saw it well, and a good save from him. It's Lacey. Perryman sets up Connor. Greenoff now for Leeds. It's Chandler. Losing out to Roberts. Crooks. Trying to set up Archibald. And just inches ahead of him. Whereas the old partnership, they've done wonders for Spurs this season. Crooks to Archibald, and the Scottish striker only inches away from that one. Right again, being covered by Connor for the moment. Martinez, Archibald, good touch from him, and it's there. Well, that is finishing at its very, very best. Took it down on one foot, banged it going in. Galvin again now, with a dangerous duo up with him. Gets the better of Gray. Archibald, Hoddle behind him. Chance from there, hits the far post. Crooks can't finish it off. Well, Archibald set up Hoddle. It was a superly well-placed shot there. Rebounded off the post, and Crooks couldn't quite make it. Galvin again. Martinez. It was Trevor Cherry who was in there with that timely tackle. Now looking for the near post ball, almost got it. Here's Crooks. And Hoddle, and a good save. What do you have to do, he says. He hit that almost perfectly, but Lukic was down very quickly indeed. Marvellous save by the Leeds and young England goalkeeper. Mr. Ken Thomas delighted, I'm sure, by that goal from Archibald and the first half efforts of Glenn Hoddle. We pick it up again now in the second half. Flynn trying to set up Harris. Dane's off his line. Oh, he's back in time. He was asking for the chip there if Graham had seen it. If Harris, rather, had seen it. This is Roberts. And Perryman. Got a bit of space. Lukic had to be down quickly. It's a corner. Lukic, I'm sure, wondering where the cover was there, because Perryman surely shouldn't have had time to get that shot in. 32,372 people here this afternoon. For Galvin, right on his head. Now Ardiles. Crooks. Cherry in quickly again. He's having a fine match. This is Graham. They seem a little bit too hard that time on Flynn. 6 6'1" against 5'3 3/4. And the 6'1", as you might expect, came off Bellin. Oh, a mistake there. And it's there! Carl Harris. Well,
Ardiles away from Gillespie. Archibald intercepted again by Gillespie, and now Ardiles has got a great chance, and he scored. A terrible mistake by Dyson. Oh, a dreadful error by Coventry. And Ozzy Ardiles, with Dyson hanging his head, took advantage. And they really enjoy playing with each other. Ardiles cross. Roberts. Hoddle's flick. Lacey. Archibald! Archibald scores his 22nd of the season. Made for him by John Lacey. With 33 minutes gone, Spurs go 2 up. Dyson has made his way forward with Gillespie for this free kick. But it's been played short, and here's English, and they weren't concentrating in defence. And Tommy English gets one back with the Tottenham players half asleep. Still Galvin. Crooks. Archibald, it's a bit tight in there. Here's Perryman. Hoddle to his right. Houghton is well forward. It's Chris Houghton. It's there!
And a free kick for Tottenham already taken as Hoddle finds Galvin. Hoddle again. Looking to release Tony Galvin once more, and he's gone too far, has he? No, he hasn't. He's got a corner. Miller coming forward. Graham Roberts going forward. And the corner already taken. Here's Hoddle on the edge of the penalty area. Floated to the far side there. And then again! And Roberts. Well, he looks happy enough with that, Graham Roberts. Floated in there by Hoddle. Roberts in at the far post. And Spurs go into the lead. And now Roberts. Played inside for Galvin. Played across there, straight to Sparrow. Dispossessed by Crooks. Saved by Len Bond. Archibald. And now Mazurn, the youngster, blocked by Delve. Houghton. Archibald. Mazurn. Ardiles. Free kick. A foul by Lee Roberts. Forbes and Delve, number 4 and number 10 in the wall, wondering what Hoddle and Ardiles can conjure up here for Tottenham. It's going to be Hoddle with the kick, floated straight at Bonds, and it's there by Miller. Mistake by the keeper, and Spurs are surely safe now. The first mistake Len Bonds made all afternoon, and he's kept well up to this point. Who'd be a keeper? And it wasn't a particularly good free kick by Glenn Hoddle, for that matter. And Paul Miller gets his first goal of the season as well. Glenn Bond gets it, lets it go. Miller was there, and that's 2-0 to Tottenham. Ardiles. They've lost a little bit of their heart and determination at the moment, Exeter. Not surprising, but their performance has been pretty good all the way through until these last 10 minutes or so. And Spurs have another corner. John Sparrow at the back post. Peter Hatch here at the near post. And the Spurs have kept the big men back for this one. Played in there for Archibald! Oh, how on earth did he miss that one? After Roberts, with a neat little header, I'd put him right in. The man who seems to be scoring goals blindfold almost all season. Nice little touchdown there by Roberts. And he blasted it over, did Archibald. The final whistle, and Spurs have made it to the semi-finals. 2-0, with two unlikely goal scorers, really. Graham Roberts here getting the first one with a header, his first goal for Tottenham, and Paul Miller getting his first goal of the season. Two men from the back doing the essential job up front, which got Spurs out of what was turning into an uncomfortable and maybe an embarrassing situation, with Exeter fighting so well. Keith Birkinshaw goes off, starting the block for the semi-finals. Exeter go off. Their dream is over, but what marvellous dreams they've had.
Brook played a beautiful ball there for Crooks. Goal!
Well, that was a beautiful bit of shooting by Crooks, but above everything else, it was a superb ball played here by Gary Brook. That's the ball there, played first time, inch perfect, onto the left foot and past Rimmer, and Spurs ahead. Paul Miller, long ball forward. Crooks finding Galvin. Still with Galvin, getting it back there. Archibald! Well, that's 2-0, and it's one of the unsung heroes, Tony Galvin, who set that one up. Coming down this byline, and he's done that rather well once or twice today. There's the cross going in, and the header, and a good one that is, on the replay there from Steve.
A gamble for Tottenham. He's had just 45 minutes of first-team football last Saturday, since damaging a knee in the third-round tie at Queen's Park Rangers 3 months ago. Belia starts the game in preference to Gary Brook, who's the substitute, and the only other place in doubt was in goal, where Milja Alexic got the vote over a fit-again Barry Daines by virtue of being the man in possession. It's only Alexic's 7th first-team game of the season, and his first in the Cup since he suffered severe injuries in the third-round replay last year at Manchester United. 8 of this Wolves side froze, to use John Farnwell's description, as losing semi-finalists to Arsenal 2 years ago. But their Cup experience is much greater since then, and with the introduction of Hughes, 6 of the starting lineup are in their 30s. And no big cup tie occasion would seem complete these days without Clive Thomas in the middle, just 10 days after officiating in the League Cup final replay. So it's Wolves who kick off, ironically on a day when these two sides were scheduled to meet in a league game at Molineux. Tottenham today in an all-white strip and defending the goal to our left. The conditions nigh on perfect, just a smattering of a breeze. The ground soft underfoot from some rain overnight and this morning, which tailed off at around 11 o'clock. McCall in front of Archibald, so that both goalkeepers have had an important feel in the first 40 seconds. Andy Gray promises to be something of a contrast in styles between the two sides. Wolves very much regarded as a long ball team to hit the likes of John Richards here and Andy Gray. Tottenham will look for a little more variety in their play. And their particularly pleased about the rain that will help their touch. Here's Hoddle. Steve Perryman will wear number 5, but he's operating at right back. And Tottenham get the free kick, which Willie Carr does not allow them to take. And with a minute and a half gone, Carr is booked. Given away by Perryman, and here's Carr in the action again. Touched off by Gray. Forward from Jeff Palmer, and that's very much in the Wolves style. Gray trying to bring it down. They've taken a slight deflection on Perryman, but the intentions of Wolves clear. Parkin. Again, it's switched forward early by Wolves. Brooks beaten on the bounce by Palmer. Here's Galvin, showing pace to get into a good angle, and Archibald! 4 minutes gone. And Steve Archibald, it's his 25th of the season, but none have been more important, surely. And Tony Galvin making his first inroads into the game, really, but his pace got him to the byline. The pass took out McCall, Archibald stretches out, it's 1-0 to Tottenham. Cut back beautifully by Galvin, and Archibald perfectly placed. So those who've come up the M1 from London start the game in fine voice. Here's Houghton. Archibald looking to get in behind McCall here. Bradshaw's in trouble and just snatched it back as Crooks was following in. Paul Bradshaw grateful to get the second chance after dropping it under pressure from Archibald. But Archibald with Villiers linking up with him, and the back heel was aimed for Crooks. And this time Carr halts Galvin. Houghton. McCall driving it for Richards. Linking up again with Gray. Carr quickly in support. Foul by Hoddle. Here's Clark, looking for Gray, jumping against Houghton, down for Hibbett! Wolves are level. And the scorer congratulates the man who set it up for him. The thumbs up from Gray. And Hibbett, whose range of play includes such great accuracy in shooting from around the edge of the area, was well placed. Clark set it up originally. Gray guiding it down here, and Hibbett threading it left-footed right into the corner. And Clive Thomas having a word with the reserve official about supporters who've got onto the pitch behind the goal that Tottenham are defending. That's the problem that Mr. Thomas is concerned about. Gray. Carr has men spare to his right, one of whom is Palmer. Given away by Berry to Crooks. Ahead of him, Villiers had to check to stay onside. Galvin. Hoddle. Now Archibald. Feinting to try the shot himself, then using Ardiles. Finally the shot coming in from Villiers. And there was no one following in from Tottenham. Really hit well by Ricky Villiers. After Spurs had shown some patience in their build-up, and finally Villiers accepting the responsibility. Bradshaw couldn't hold it, but it fell kindly for Wolves. Ardiles trying to pick out Galvin. Tottenham, of course, playing their first tie outside London in this year's competition. Their only away game was against Queen's Park Rangers, whereas Wolves have had far more demanding tasks on paper all the way through. But here's Hoddle. This time gets some reward for the appeal for the corner. Just brushing the fingertips of Bradshaw. With everyone but Wayne Clark back. And the header was from Hibbett. And here's Richards. It's a dangerous place to lose possession. Perryman. Hoddle playing it in early, nicely down for Crooks. Well, it's a link-up that really has clicked for Tottenham this season. And it nearly restored their lead then. The chest touch from Crooks, the left foot shot from Archibald. Hibbett planting it forward. Then Hughes. Gray given time to pull it down and pick out Clark. Gray's gone on to the far post, but this is Richards. Clark coming again. And almost a mirror image of the incident at the other end a moment or two ago, with Wayne Clark playing the role of Steve Archibald on that occasion. And the referee wants a word now with Kenny Hibbett. Or a word out of turn, presumably. So Tottenham get a free kick, which might have surprised them, and which they might capitalise on here. And how did Crooks make out a foot then? He did, nearly to devastating effect. All credit to Paul Bradshaw. Back by Archibald. It seemed to be McCall's ball, but Crooks got there and it needed the save. Now Ardiles and Willie Carr back for Wolves. Miller keeping the pressure on. Might fall here for Houghton. Perryman still with Tottenham. Ardiles, back from Hoddle. Ardiles goes down. The Tottenham players applaud. Now the question is, as the free kick is given, is it on the edge? Which it seems to be, rather than a penalty. Ardiles going down there, brought down by Berry. Hoddle who strikes it so perfectly. Tottenham go back in front. And they waited until the moment was right. And Glenn Hoddle chips it in past Paul Bradshaw, who was completely wrong-footed. So penalty or not, it's irrelevant now. For Hoddle, it's his 13th goal of the season. And 7 minutes remain in the first half. Ardiles had a second thought and almost gave Gray an opening. Tottenham at the moment playing their way into trouble, and in the end Wolves get a free kick as Houghton sent Palmer flying, but it all really stemmed from some overindulgence by Ossie Ardiles in the last third of the field from his point of view. Hibbett with the free kick. Berry making a run. Richards and then Clark. Couldn't make significant contact. The free kick really spearing in, and Tottenham again not dealing with it decisively. Inside the final minute of the first half, and Gray, and Hughes right in there. Alexic in trouble, a chance for Clark, and then for Carr, and in the end turned away by Graham Roberts. And Alexic finally regaining his ground, perhaps the best opening coming for Willie Carr, but Tottenham were all over the place again. Hibbett's corner, Berry! And Gray holds his head, and Berry shows it. The winners here in 1967, but they might be in trouble again at the back as the ball drops for Wayne Clark. And Alexic in the end at about the third attempt, and although there's angry reactions from Chris Houghton, one could hardly blame John Richards and then Andy Gray going in when suddenly they got a sight of a loose ball. Alexic just dropping it for a moment, that was enough for Richards to go in on it, but the goalkeeper finally claimed it. Gray again. Richards was looking for Wayne Clark. Got too much angle on the pass. Here's Villa. Brooks luring McCall into the tackle. And Villa gets behind Hughes. Archibald was on the far post from Villa's point of view. And that was an important touch from Palmer. Here's Galvin. Was looking for the far corner, and Crooks! It may even have hit Ricky Villa. The final shot from Crooks striking Villa. Gray has had a word out of turn to become the second Wolves player to be recorded in Mike Thomas's notebook. Just the two prongs forward for Wolves, Gray and Richards. And here's Hughes. Richards checking to the far post. Richards down for Hibbett. He was on the side too, and he got behind Spurs. Villa's header. And again cushioning it back for supporting players, Ardiles and Hoddle. Crooks. Side down by McCall from behind, and the notebook is out again. The nature of the tackle by John McCall, which has left Garth Brooks in some pain. Coming through the man to get the ball. attacking verve that they showed in the first half. Forward again from Carr. Miller's header. It was almost a case of misunderstanding between goalkeeper and defender. But it ended happily for Miljar Aleksik, for whom victory today will be a premature celebration for his 30th birthday on Tuesday. Forward from Carr. Hughes has made the run this time. On for Richards. And handball by Houghton. Wayne Clark turns away furiously. Houghton is booked for deliberate handball, but he may well have saved his side. But the incident right on the spot that led to Spurs' second goal. Clark nicking it forward, out-snaked the right arm. Hughes on the left-hand end of the wall as we look. Always a trying time for referees. Getting the defenders back the required distance. So here goes Hibbett. And there's no action replay. He couldn't keep it down. And it's Wayne Clark who's going to be called off for Norman Bell, it seems. The number 4 board being held there by the auxiliary official today. Here's Richards. Dealers scurrying and hurrying back, but that will allow Wolves to bring on Bell, who scored 4 goals in the FA Cup this season. Badly, Wolves need another one from him now. Kenny Hibbett consoling Clark as he is the player pulled off. So Bell will certainly add to the aerial power for Wolves up front. But Carr's right in there, and Gray! And Andy Gray hurt in the episode. The early ball from Hibbett giving Gray really something to fight for in his characteristic style, but it was a foot too high. Hibbett. Foul by Galvin. So Bell has joined Gray beyond the far post. And Berry is there as well. Sets his bearings, and Brooks is in trouble for not retreating the full 10 yards. So another booking. And Brooks has now retreated to pick up Hibbett, leaving Palmer uninterrupted view. It's Bell jumping, and it fell straight to Ardiles. Gray, Miller's strength is unfair. Clive Thomas just looking for a moment to see whether Wolves had any advantage, and blew for the free kick. So again, Tottenham put 5 in the wall and pull everyone back behind the ball. This time Palmer has gone across to join Hughes and Willie Carr. And it's Carr who chips it, Berry who heads it. And it's squirted away from Emlyn Hughes when the chance presented itself. And Wolves are thwarted yet again. was a neatly worked free kick. Hughes making the run, and watch him continue. And as Carr chipped it forward, Berry headed it down. Hughes couldn't control it, and in doing that, tried to set it up for Richards, and it went behind him. Bell. Here's Hibbett. Could be Wolves' last throw here. And Clive Thomas has given a penalty. 90 minutes played on the watch. Hibbett gave chase. Hoddle and Perriman going with him. There was the contact. And it seems to me that Tottenham harshly done by. Archibald booked for arguing. Well, it had looked all up for Wolves, and now they have the chance to take us into extra time. And their penalty record this year is pretty poor. Gray, Richards, Wayne Clark, and Peter Daniel, who's not playing at all, missed from the spot. And Melia Alexic now to try and protect a place in the final for Tottenham. Willie Carr to try and save the day for Wolves and take us to the extra 30 minutes, which he does. Showing the nerve of his experience and sending those supporters into a delight that they couldn't have imagined feeling when it looked as though their world was caving in. And indeed, hardly time to restart. Archibald could be in more trouble here. This FA Cup semi-final, and Ardiles is in trouble too for another word out of place. And Clive Thomas has produced his famous black book. And again he ends a cup tie as a central figure. Tottenham and Keith Birkinshaw, almost in the manner of John Lyall in the League Cup final. Words with the referee. Roberts flicking it up in the air and then having to jump for it himself. Galvin, who's looked impressive on the ball on the relatively rare occasions Tottenham have got him into the game. Ardiles. Hoddle, and trying to catch Bradshaw as he was moving out of his line. Well, Glenn Hoddle must have thought the honour had fallen to him of the winning goal in the semi-final. Hit and hope from McCall. And again a tired look about a pass. This time it was Hoddle, but it really has applied to several players in this first period of extra time. Hibbett. Now Hughes. Still life in his legs. Hibbett again. Came over Richards, and Carr is on the end of it as Perriman rather hooked it out blindly into the sort of area that Andy Gray would have been trying to play the ball, but the whistle when it goes is for the end of the first period of extra time. And the score remains level. Tottenham Hotspur 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2. So we're into the final 15 minutes. Richards, and one wonders now whether the players will be just a little tentative about making a mistake. Whether perhaps it might be a case of what we have, we hold. The Tottenham fans showing their disapproval of a foul right in front of them by John McCall on Garth Crooks. And McCall blatantly late. Meanwhile, Gary Brook, after several false alarms, is waiting to be called on. And it is Ricky Villa, who has done well really to last for 90 minutes, let alone 105 minutes after his long layoff. Villa comes off, and the 20-year-old Gary Brook gets a warming cheer. Now Galvin. And he slipped Palmer again. And gets good depth into the cross. Brook jumping. Hoddle hitting it. And it may even have taken a deflection. And it was a brilliant save from Bradshaw. Set up by Galvin, who not for the first time this afternoon slipped Jeff Palmer. Brook was in there jumping, and it finally came down for Hoddle. And brilliant reflexes from Bradshaw. Bray runs, but runs in vain, and Clive Thomas will, I suppose, be remembered as the central figure of this FA Cup semi-final. The penalty award in the last minute of normal time, giving Wolves a lifeline, allowing Willie Carr to keep his side's hopes alive, and even extra time can't drive a wedge between them. So it's a replay at Highbury on Wednesday night, and a final score: Tottenham Hotspur 2, Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Villa, wide on the left is Galvin. There he is. Oh, and a shot by Galvin, superbly saved by Bradshaw. There may even have been a slight deflection the minute that Galvin shot off that defender nearer to him. He cut inside on his right foot, did Galvin, and he hit it, and the ball must have touched the defender, and well held by Bradshaw. Offside flag is up. Up goes Miller. Here's Eaves. Palmer. This is Carr. Onside, and Galvin's going to do some defending here against Hibbett. This is Palmer. Bell coming in. Here's Houghton for Tottenham. Looks for Crooks. Header is by George Berry. Here's Hibbett. Still being roundly booed by the Spurs fans. Ardiles. Hoddle in the centre-forward position here. The others are to his left at the moment, apart from Perryman. Here comes Crooks. There's Crooks! It's there! Garth Crooks for Spurs! Hesitation in the defence. George Berry didn't seem to know whether to go for the ball or not, and Crooks scores his 20th goal of the season. And here's Glenn Hoddle who made the goal, playing it through, Berry hesitated, miskicked, Crooks headed, and the ball went in. There was an appeal for offside against Archibald, but he wasn't really interfering. And the score, with Berry dejected and Crooks delighted, is 1-0 to Spurs. There's Bell. Here's Hoddle. It's Ardiles, and Houghton supplies the type of clearance Tottenham were looking for there. Little shove, though, by Tony Galvin on Emlyn Hughes, put Spurs back where they started. Berry takes. Bell is underneath this, so was Miller. Glenn Hoddle will have to help. It's going to come to Parkin. Alexic's coming for it with Bell. There's Emlyn Hughes with the header. And Richards, and off the line by Houghton. Chris Houghton's clearance from John Richards. And Wolves coming strongly now. It was lobbed back in by Derek Parkin. Emlyn Hughes was well forward in this attack. So was Bell, who went to meet it. There's Hughes now, heading the ball back towards the open goal. On by Richards, but there's Houghton. And there goes Norman Bell, and Alexic has come. And he's outside his area when he handled that. That's a free kick to Wolves. And the goalkeeper could get booked here. The goalkeeper can well get caution for a handball. Steve Perryman unhappy with the way he dealt with it. I wasn't sure that he should have come in the first place, but he did come, and he's going to get booked. The bouncing ball, troubling the defenders. He might have headed it, he didn't. He punched it because there was a player there to beat. And that has earned Milia Alexic the first booking of this replay. And it's also earned Wolves a free kick right on the edge of Tottenham's area. Jeff Palmer is just to the left of your picture, waiting for a possible shot. That's Hughes and Carr on the ball. Now Spurs scored from here on Saturday. Palmer, deflection, corner. Well, Ardiles did well to shut down the man, Jeff Palmer it was to the right as we look now, who hit the ball. Look where Ardiles was, closing him down, out off the Argentine for a corner. Flick header across, a chance here, and Berry against the bar, still loose. George Berry has hit the bar, and still the danger's not clear. Carr. Foul there surely, free kick to Spurs, but Wolves asking themselves how that came out. The ball delivered from the corner by Willie Carr, and in the scramble that followed, you'll see what happened now. Flicked back across the goal by Richards. In came Eves at the far post. In went Bell, and George Berry hit the underside of the bar, and the ball came out on the right side for Spurs. Now Galvin for Tottenham. Taking on Jeff Palmer, which on Saturday proved very interesting. Galvin got behind the defence 2 or 3 times to telling effect. Minute to go in the first half. And not many stoppages, I would think, because the trainers have not been called upon. Houghton. Archibald far post with Parkin. Heads it back down. John McCall. Nerves jangling a little in the penalty area. Crooks is going through here. Oh, he's outpaced them. Crooks is there. Oh, yes! Number 2 for Crooks. Number 2 for Tottenham. And a magnificent ball by Glenn Hoddle. Right on half-time. Brilliant goal. And the Spurs fans celebrate one of the memorable moments of the season. Hoddle drilled the ball through those 2 defenders. Crooks' pace was good enough, and his right foot finish was absolutely emphatic. And look at the way Hoddle puts that ball through. That is sheer precision, and he's got too much speed for those defenders. Bradshaw came out, no chance. Oh, well played by Melives. That was a superb run, and very unlucky at the end to see the referee give a goal kick. That was one of the best pacey runs from a Wolves player we've seen. Melives quite prepared to take on the defenders one after the other, going inside Perryman there, and it needed Ardiles to come across, and the ball off Eves for a goal kick. Archibald. Here's Villa. Villa shots! Oh! 3-0, and Ricky Villa produces another marvellous moment for Spurs. Absolutely vintage stuff. And that one came straight out of Argentina. Garth Brooks was again involved, laid the ball on to Villa, tempted the defender, went inside his second man, hit it with his left foot, and it screamed past Bradshaw. Villa's goal, and Spurs have a 3-goal lead now, with 53 minutes gone. Hoddle, Crooks is on the run again. Oh, good save, Bradshaw, and away by Palmer, and Garth Brooks there was within an ace of becoming the first man to score a hat-trick in a semi-final since 1958. And it happened on this ground when Dawson did so for Manchester United against Fulham, and Crooks there was denied his third only by Bradshaw. So Galvin to take the corner for Spurs. That was a poor one, and intercepted by Derek Parkin. And Archibald's in, and is it going to go in for Archibald? And Bradshaw has fallen on the ball, I suspect, right on the line. The referee looked at the linesman, who was well positioned, and I don't think that went over. A dreadful moment here for Derek Parkin, who turns, plays the ball back, and there's Archibald, who got a touch, so did Bradshaw, and the goalkeeper just kept the ball out. Might get a better view from here. Poor Derek Parkin. Archibald, the little touch under the goalkeeper's right hand. Bradshaw comes back, and just about prevents the whole of the ball going over. Here's Hoddle with Carr in attendance. The back heel finds Perryman. Oh, he's onside now. Can Crooks complete his hat-trick? It's Crooks for Spurs. Oh, unselfish. Archibald has missed it incredibly. Oh, dear me. He knows better than anybody else. What an awful miss. Hoddle applauds because Garth Crooks set that up superbly. Garth Crooks looked to be in for the first semi-final hat-trick for 23 years, but he was less selfish than that. He squared it to Archibald, and he completely missed it. And the Spurs fans are waiting to celebrate. And Spurs go to Wembley. Ardiles as well. Keith Birkinshaw leads them there in what they said was the Chinese year of the rooster, or the cockerel. Ricky Villa supplies a goal to go with the two scored by Crooks, and the injustice that people talked about last Saturday is put to rights here at Highbury tonight. And the irony really is that the Spurs fans who saw Arsenal win the league on the Tottenham ground exactly 10 years ago this month in 1971 have now seen Spurs reach the 100th FA Cup final by winning a semi-final replay on Arsenal's ground. But the final score here, Spurs 3, Wolves 0, and that means on May the 9th, the 100th FA Cup final will be between Tottenham Hotspur of the south and Manchester City of the north.
And what drama there was in that 81 final.
When it was congratulations all round when Keith Birkinshaw of Spurs greeted the Liverpool bench there today. We pick it up in the first half then. Spurs are in white.
The break by Archibald was well timed. He was onside, but the ball didn't quite reach him. Here's Ardiles. Now Hoddle. Good play again by Hoddle. He's having quite an afternoon already. Ardiles playing it back to him. Cook's offside. Well, it was Hoddle's part in it that was quite magical, really. Beating everybody in sight. The little ball played there again, played on again, and this time, sadly for Spurs, Crooks caught offside. Deep again towards Galvin. Won that at the second attempt, but McDermott was right back there to help out. Ray Kennedy with the guided header here for Sammy Lee, and a bit of space for Liverpool. And the long ball forward, testing again the pace of Howard Gale, and Alexic's ability to come out and head a ball. Took a bit of buffeting as well, and the danger not yet cleared. Now it should be. The whistle's gone in any case. And it was a brave bit of keeping there by Alexic. And he took quite a knock, as we'll see here now. It bounced awkwardly there. He had to do something about it. And charged into Gale. But he's all in one piece. Rush couldn't return the compliment though, and Spurs have got a chance of getting out of this spot. They certainly have now, but then it's given away again. And now Sammy Lee put through, and now Gale with a chance, and Liverpool go into the lead. Well, Spurs were their own worst enemies there, and Howard Gale comes in to score his first goal for Liverpool. Sammy Lee laid the ball wide there, flicked through again, and suddenly Gale is in a lot of space, and the goal is at his mercy, 1-0. It's an afternoon for good football, really, because the pitch is in amazingly good condition right at this tail end of the season, playing really true. And really, this pitch is a credit to the Tottenham ground staff, there's no doubt about that. You remember what it used to be a few years ago, as Galvin trying to get to that byline, crossing it in there, nodded away. Very well, in fact, by Alan Hansen. He goes straight into touch for a Tottenham throw. Archibald looking to get to that byline, gets a corner. Terrific goal-scoring season he's had, 25, and with Garth Brooks 21, that's 46 between the two of them. Here's Ricky Villa. Then Liverpool get it away. Again, Archibald hoping to make something. Hoddle with the shot! 1-1! Well, that's a typical Hoddle goal. A volley struck with tremendous precision and power. And that makes it 1-1. Well, it had been a very quiet afternoon all around, and now suddenly we've got a couple of goals, and this one an absolute beauty. Nodded away, not very accurately there by Liverpool, and Hoddle hitting it on the rise and just inside that post beyond Ray Collins. 1-1. Here's McDermott playing it in towards Souness. Souness with the shot, and that bounced very awkwardly in front of Alexic. And Spurs almost allowed Souness in there. And just look at the nasty bounce there. And Alexic just had to readjust to get it. Villa. And now Villa again. Oh, almost arrogant with a flick there, finding Ardiles. And what a ball there by Ardiles for Crooks. Really stretching Liverpool there. Crooks with a shot, and Clements spooning it away. The linesman was at the corner flag on the far side. The referee was looking as well. The ball didn't go over the corner. And
and it was a superb ball and a shot well hit there by Crooks. Now, did it go over for the corner? I don't think it did. Rush, McAllister's header, Ardiles for Brook, a nice touch there, Hoddle, a good firm touch there, and Irwin's missed out, Crooks is in there, and Phil Neal has saved it by heading over his own crossbar. Well, the mistake was Liverpool's. Retrieved superbly by Phil Neal. Played forward there. It was Irwin who missed it completely there. Crooks, who may have thought he'd done enough there until Phil Neal arrived on the scene. Ardiles. Brook. Struck well and called for a good save. A little bit of satisfaction in Gary Brook's face there, I think. Really hit it well, and it was curling a bit away from Ray Clements, palmed up into the air and away. To Perryman, floated there towards Roberts. That very nearly got under Corrigan's body. Well, Graham Roberts, who's only scored one goal this season, and that was in the Cup against Exeter, got up so well. It was Perryman's little cross here. And for a moment it looked as though it was going to crawl or creep under the body of Corrigan, but he was down before Crooks could get in. Gow, Ransom. And that will just about get into to the byline for a goal kick. Alexic, who has unhappy memories of cup ties against Manchester clubs, broke his jaw, of course, against Manchester United a season or so ago. Had the best luck with injuries, but he's here on the big day. Clayton, a good, powerful header, very dominant, but just carrying a little too much to be of value. Halfway through the first half now, still no score. Tottenham's throw. Yes, another free kick for Manchester City. That time the foul on Kevin Reeves by Steve Perryman, and a kick already taken. Paul Power released there, and Miller will need to stop him. He got it in there. Bennett, can he hit something on the turn? And that so nearly could have been the first goal there. A lovely piece of skill there by Dave Bennett, and unluckily for him, it cannoned off a Spurs defender behind for the corner. Power doing well as we wait for this corner. Bennett on the turn, and it's Roberts that he hits, and they were lucky there, Jack.
Well, lucky. Paul Power did terrific. He saw two lovely dummies there, but when the ball came into the little coloured boy there, he turned on it the wrong way. I felt he turned inside instead of out.
Corner coming in, and across the face of that goal again, and a touch would have put it in. It was the fullback Robert MacDonald who was right in there.
Now that could have been goal number one, and it was a classic near post corner, swung in to the near post, and someone getting a header on and flicking it across the face of the goal. I'm amazed that no Manchester City player was there to put it in.
Ardiles, a little overhead there. Will it reach Galvin? And a nice ball played there by Hugh for Tony Galvin. Oh, he's turned the ball. The shot pushed away by Corrigan. A fine piece of goalkeeping and a lovely piece of play by Tony Galvin. Well, a lot of people felt that he might be the unsung hero who could surprise them all. And the way he twisted and turned here as we wait again for that corner, and then hammered in that shot that Corrigan just pushed away for this corner here by Hoddle.
Manchester City can thank Joe Corrigan for two very fine saves, because the first header he saved from Graham Roberts was terrific, and the save he made there was a one-handed touch that if he hadn't got a hand to it, it was a goal. And you know, quality goalkeeper Joe, and he's proven his worth today.
course, John Bond was saying that he didn't realise how good he was until he actually got to Manchester City and saw him on a day-to-day basis. And he's got a bit of experience behind him, Joe. 32 years old and first played here in a Wembley final in the League Cup in 1970. So well over 400 league games as well for Manchester City. Here's Houghton getting it back. Alexic keeping it in. It's the City bench, and on the right, leaning forward there in the suit, almost on the right of the picture, the Spurs manager Keith Birkinshaw. Ardiles. And the cross coming in, but Ranson should be there to cope with it, which he does. And Villa again not making a contact. That's 2 or 3 times when I've seen Ricky Villa not quite doing all that Spurs wanted him to do. He hasn't quite got into this game yet. Here's Dave Bennett though for City. And here's Bennett again, showing a great piece of tenacity there, and a little bit of skill there. Now, can Reeves get this one back in? Well, Ranson might with an early ball, played in there. And a goal by Hutchison! And look at Corrigan celebrate. And it's sadness for Alexic. And the saluting fans, the saluting scorer, and what a goal it was. The early ball played in there for Hutchison, beyond the reach of Alexic, and Manchester City are 1-0 into the lead. Tremendous goal. What about that, Jack?
Tommy Hutchins will remember that header for a long time, because he's not noted as the greatest ever of a ball in the world. But it fit in exactly the right spot and at exactly the right time in the game. I think we might get a good game now. It's starting to warm up a little bit, and people are having a little bit more room to play it about in the last 5 or 6 minutes.
Well, here's the man, Tommy Hutchison, towards Dave Bennett there. And the whistle has gone. Out of play, and it's a throw to Tottenham.
Manchester City seem to have the spare man across midfield, because Villa seems to be pushing up into a centre-forward position, and they're not winning enough ball in midfield to warrant this.
Now, can Crooks get in there? No, he can't, because Corrigan has done his job again. Oh, we had a graphic illustration there, not only of the speed of Garth Crooks, but the bravery there of Joe Corrigan. And I think Joe is calling for the trainer. He caught his hand there as Crooks went in. Well, let's look at it again. And I thought for a moment that Crooks might just get there, but Corrigan bravely at his feet.
Oh, I think you're wrong there, Brian. He was always second best. Joe was always going to win that one. But it makes you wonder, when Joe's in this mood, he's going to take some beating today.
Reeves. Nice Roberts. And Crooks. And Archibald. Again, an advantage played there by Keith Hackett. Now can Houghton get in there? It's a new experience for Spurs this. They've never been behind in a cup game this season. And as I told you at the start, they've never lost a cup final. And Houghton being called to referee Hackett. And a name goes in the book. No, it's not. It's Graham Roberts. Joe Corrigan getting a bit of treatment there from Roy Bailey. And there was the challenge. fact, I'm sure the referee started calling Chris Hughton to him. Maybe he, a case of mistaken identity. But at any rate, there's Hutchison with the cross. Mackenzie almost got on the end of that one. Archibald playing it in. Villa couldn't get there. Hutchison again. But this time Galvin. No, he's shown too much of that to Ransom, but it's a City throw. Roberts to Hoddle. Floated again towards Crooks. Villa, they're looking very secure at the back though, City. And when Spurs do find a way through, Corrigan has been in really exceptional form. Hoddle again now. Jinking and finding Villa, getting towards that byline. Little cross coming in. Now, can Galvin turn this one back? It maybe came off the turf a little quicker than he wanted, but they get a corner. So Hughton. Hoddle. Flicked in there again. Can Archibald make something of this? It's Crooks in there. He's offside. Corrigan saved though again. Big Joe was there where he needed to be, even though the flag was up and the whistle had gone.
You've got to react all the time to these situations. Both the linesman and the referee went a total line on this one, and they both gave it offside. So there was no doubt in it. But look at
kept there by Tony Galvin. He's got a bit of pace about him, but he couldn't withstand that challenge from Hutchison. It's going to be a free kick and a substitution. So Ricky Villa goes off.
You've got to admire Manchester City, though. The tenacity in this game has been tremendous. And they've not played particularly well going forward, but they scored the goal, and the tenacity in winning the ball and doing the job right. They've held the balance across midfield. They've been by far the better team today.
And Gary Brooke comes on then as the Tottenham substitute. Hughton. And now it's Mackenzie. Ranson making the break. And the ball over for the corner. While sadly, what about that for a sad and sorrowful sight? Ricky Villa, World Cup man with Argentina, thought today could be one of the most memorable days of his life. As it is, his side is losing, and he goes off having been substituted by 19-year-old Gary Brooke. Kevin Reeves. Dow. Oh, twice he's had it taken off him, and that's unlike him, and Ardiles is the man who's stolen it this time. Gal coming back at him and concedes the free kick. His discipline went just for a moment there, Jerry Gow.
It shows what he's about, Jerry Gow. He lost the ball in midfield when no one was showing for him, and yet he's chased back. Ardiles has beaten one man, and the next person who comes into is Jerry Gow, who wins the ball but gives a foul away. But the fact that he's there is what it's about.
Now, we have to wait and see what Mr. Hoddle can do with a free kick here. He hasn't had many opportunities today to show what he can do in terms of bending and swerving and beating a wall. And this probably is the first real opportunity he's had. He's about 20 yards out. He's well to the right of goal. Hoddle curling in, an own goal by Hutchison. Hoddle's free kick and Tommy Hutchison's own goal. He's down there with Joe Corrigan now. The man who scored at one end has now put it in the other end. I think Joe Corrigan would have got it, but there's Hutchison, and there's the goal, and Spurs are level.
So ways in the way the game can change. One free kick, Joe had it covered all the way. Tommy Hutchinson, who shouldn't have even been in there, finishes up scoring the equaliser. One at each end. What a cup final he's had. Both headers.
Both headers. And what a finish. With about 9 minutes to go, Spurs, who look to be out of it incredibly, are right back in it again. And who's to say which way the pendulum will swing now? Hoddle. They're all going to have a spring in their stride now. Here's Tommy Hutchison, who will be out to try and do something to redeem that situation. Poor man, can you imagine what he's going through now? It was going to be such a day of glory for him. But what now for Tommy Hutchison? Roberts in there for Tottenham. Now Houghton. And Nicky Reid, cannily and with a lot of deliberation gets himself out of that little spot there, but they've given the ball away again, City. Well, they've already got extra time in the Scottish Cup final at Hampden. And we're into time added on for stoppages here at Wembley.
This has not been a classic cup final, but both teams have worked very, very hard, and it's going to be interesting if it goes to extra time, who's going to be the strongest. You know, and I would tend to think maybe Tottenham, because Man City have really worked hard in this game.
Reid. Ransom. Final whistle after 90 minutes. And now John Bond and Keith Birkinshaw coming out to spend the next 2 or 3 minutes geeing up their players again, and it'll be interesting to see who they go to and who they try to sort out. In fact, the first thing that Keith Birkinshaw's done, there's John Bond on the far touchline, is having a word with Ozzy Ardiles right on the far touchline. You can see him there. They're working on his legs, and Keith Birkinshaw there, a pat on his head, and now comes across to see who else he can have a word with. Steve Perryman clapping of the hands, getting a bit more effort into tired limbs. A few well-chosen words there on Jerry Gow from John Bond and John Sainty. Very important moments, but I don't know how much the players hear of this, whether they got thoughts of their own, Jack.
Well, if I was a Tottenham player, I think, well, we've got a real chance now. From having none, we've got a chance, and we can still win the cup. Manchester City, I would be thinking, dear me, we've played as well as we have, and we've done everything right, and we're giving a goal away like that. Things aren't with us today.
Yeah, the own goal was and absolutely heartbreaking.
That's a stunner for them, you know, and they've got to pick it up now, and Bonnie's got to work hard to pick it up with his lads here. And he's got Paul Power on the line.
Here's that own goal again.
Yes, well, Hutchie should never have been there.
Off his right shoulder, I think,
yes,
possibly.
It was off his right shoulder, but he should never have been in that position. What's he doing there behind the wall? Never given him anyone to chase.
The pace is certainly slowing a little bit now. Ardiles. And back by Miller to Alexei. Crooks looked like a handball there. No, said the referee. And Crooks plays it here for Perryman, calling for the early ball. It got it too. Galvin's coming up on the far side. Oh, and it just went beyond the reach of both Brook and Archibald, but here's Hoddle. And played back wisely by Reeves to Joe Corrigan.
Just show you how the game can change. A handball by Crooks there, a good cross by Perryman. Someone gets in at the far post with a header, and if it dropped kindly, Tottenham win the cup. It's amazing. Amazing game, this.
Free kick for Manchester City. Bobby McDonnell with it. Here's Ray Ranson now. Oh, it's taken too quickly, so Tommy Caton will take this one. Caton, a long ball forward. Chris Hughton back there for Tottenham. And Crooks right back there for Tottenham. Even the front men are back now. Ranson crossing it in against the hands of Garth Crooks. City fans weren't too happy with that. They felt the City should have had a free kick, but the ball, I think, was hit quite firmly against the hand. I don't think it was any question of the hand coming down to hit the ball.
I've got to agree with you, Brian. I think he attacked the ball with his arms in the air, using them as a shield, and it was definitely a handball, and it should have been given.
We're not agreeing about anything, are we, today?
Not a lot today, Brian, not a lot.
But it's a corner, we agree on that. 2 Manchester City as we come to the last minute and a half of extra time. Corner coming in. Reeves playing it out again for Henry. Played there for Jerry Gowes. We come to the last minute. Played wide for Bobby MacDonald. Played a good ball in there if Bennett can get onto it. But Houghton was there, getting him away. Crooks. Looks as though we've got a real bonanza of football next week with the England-Brazil game on ITV on Tuesday, the Cup Winners' Cup final on Wednesday, a replay of this on Thursday, and Northern Ireland against England on Saturday. And there is the final whistle, and we've all got to come back for a replay on Thursday.
Than it was for the first game. So a reminder of the lineups. Spurs absolutely unchanged, and with that late decision to make Dennis Tuitt the substitute in preference to Tony Henry, the other City players absolutely unchanged. Caton got up, Mackenzie! Away by Chris Houghton from almost on the line. Power. Well, I've seen Chris Houghton clear from there so often this season. Come out to Gal. This is Mackenzie once more. They're looking for an offside. It's Reeves. Kevin Reeves was blocked by Villiers with Ardiles. Brilliant. And his Archibald has got a chance. Good save. Ricky Villiers. Ricky Villiers scored. And it was made by his fellow Argentine, Ozzy Ardiles. After 8 minutes. The man who was taken off on Saturday, driven in by Ardiles. Archibald was blocked by Corrigan. Good goalkeeping, but he couldn't stop the rebound. Villiers the scorer. Made, look at this, by Ozzy Ardiles. The skill is there for all to see. Brilliantly set up. Corrigan did awfully well here against Archibald. That wasn't his fault. And Ricky Villiers puts the rebound in between the two defenders, and Spurs are ahead. This is Hutchison. Ranson with the kick. Miller, Reeves underneath it. And now Hutchison to Mackenzie. Oh, tremendous goal! Steve Mackenzie. Fabulous shot. An absolutely outstanding volley by Steve Mackenzie, only 19. And just watch this one fly in. First of all, Paul Miller up to head the ball out for Spurs. Then Reeves competes. Then it comes out again for Hutchison. And Mackenzie hits it. And look at that. 10 minutes gone, and we've had 2 goals. That's Hoddle. Hit the post. Oh, what's going to happen next? Bennett's on the chase here, and Alexic's come. Was he outside his area when he handled the ball? I thought he was. The linesman says he was. The referee has chosen discretion here. He's not booked the goalkeeper, but he has obviously awarded the free kick. This is Power with one of his efforts, which counted in the semi-final, but doesn't count here. to Hoddle. 3 ahead of him. Crooks is the man making the run. Reed the header to Villiers. Villiers shot! Oh! Well, Joe Corrigan got in the way, that's all you can say. Here's Archibald for Spurs. Galvin is free on the left. He's got 2 others up with him. This is Galvin. Good stop by Corrigan, and before Galvin could get to the rebound, Ranson was there. On by Reeves to Bennett. Paul Miller trying to check Bennett. Down goes Bennett. Penalty! Penalty! Keith Hackett had no doubts. David Bennett has won a penalty for City. Here's Bennett. Miller goes across. The right arm is checking him. The body is checking him. He was pushed. Houghton came in and finished it off. He went down in a heap. A penalty was given. The last one was 1962 for Spurs. And here comes Reeves. And it's there. Kevin Reeves keeps up the record. And Paul Miller, unhappy with the decision. Kevin Reeves puts City in front. Driving the ball, right foot low inside that left-hand post of Alexic, who went the right way. Ardiles. Hoddle. Great stuff from Hoddle. Corner. Corrigan must have tipped it over. He had a good view, though, because he didn't hesitate when the challenge was made, and he won't now. Gow and Ardiles. And it's becoming so heated now, it could get out of hand. Jerry Gow, number 8 for Manchester City, is going to get booked as well as they try and calm Ardiles down. 5 bookings now. Caton, Ranson and Gow of Manchester City, Galvin and Archibald of Spurs. And unfortunately, a fan has got across the barriers and is having to be led away. Hoddle with the corner. Corrigan's come a long way. Might have caught Tommy Caton on the arm. Not given. Galvin. Spurs think there was a handball against Tommy Caton. Just watch number 6. Well, his arm was up. Villiers. Hoddle. Oh, the chance here for Archibald. Crooks! And the double act works again. Spurs stayed onside. Archibald went in first. Garth Crooks scored. That's his 22nd of the season. It comes after 71 minutes, and the penalty appeals don't matter now. Hoddle again. Amazing. He just played a brilliant stop ball in there. It slowed up for them, and Crooks scores. Come to Mackenzie. What a good tackle by Graham Roberts. And now Galvin. Spurs have got 2 to his right, and Galvin wants to go on his own. Villiers. And still Ricky Villiers. What a fantastic run. He scored. Amazing goal by Ricky Villiers. Sudden, Spurs are in front again, and look what happened here. The big man from Argentina went round 1, 2, 3. Joe Corrigan came to block, and Villiers squeezed it in. Spurs celebrated in great style as we see it again from behind the goal. Just look how many players he twisted and turned past, and then got his shot in. So, Ricky Villiers has scored twice in this replay, having been taken off on Saturday. Dennis Stewart is going to be thrown on as an extra attacker, and Bobby McDonald is going to come on. This is Power. Coming back to Stewart. So dangerous in those positions, Dennis Stewart. Ardiles away, and Tottenham can have an extra man here. Hoddle for Crooks. Can Crooks make sure here for Spurs? Joe Corrigan saw enough of the ball to make the save. Dennis Stewart. Jerry Gow. They've got players out on the left. Paul Power. Stoppage time now. Reeves heading it back. Stewart! It was close. And that's it! Spurs have won the cup, and Ricky Villa, Keith Birkinshaw off the bench. Ozzy Ardiles has fulfilled his great ambition. He has won an FA Cup winners' medal, and it's in the 100th final. Ricky Villa's 2 goals, starting and finishing a quite remarkable match. It's the year of the cockle.